know.
MagMongoSlade. MagMongoSlade. MagMongoSlade.
AEW Collision started at 7 o'clock today. So you got it like an hour of it before Fastlane started. Did you get it? AEW started at 7, not 4 in the afternoon. Let's talk about that first before we talk about Collision. So the story going around is that the 800,000 viewers for AEW Dynamite on, what was this, October the 4th? That the reason why the rating was so low is because the DVR from TBS said that the show was going to start at 4 o'clock. So people clearly did not set their DVRs to watch the show because the Nielsen is live plus same day. So that means if you watched it, if you DVR'd it and you watched it later, it would still count. That being said, I'm sorry, but if the show starts at 4, that's a little early, don't you think? When have they ever had a show that early? They would rather push it to another day rather than put it on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that means you're telling me that, for starters, AEW doesn't have that many casuals. There's not a lot of casual fans of AEW. And if AEW was booted till 4 o'clock or till the next day, trust me, those casuals would have known. So I don't know if look, it's a good excuse. I'm not sure if I buy it, though. I do know that AEW has been having some issues with TBS and other cable providers, such as the Xfinity app that no longer carries TBS, or some other companies might have issues with TBS. But I'm not sure I buy the whole, well, the DVRs couldn't be set on time. What? Okay, sure. If that's what you want to go with, is that TBS made a mistake, I guess so. You know, if TBS is willing to take that hit. I mean, TBS has taken a lot of L's lately. While we talking about it, some random music started playing during Daniel Bryan versus Kyle Fletcher. Like, random music starts playing over the screen. I'm like, what is going on here? Are they going to commercial? Are they coming back from commercial? Are they about to start hawking peanuts or something? What are they doing? And then I wasn't the only one who heard it. Other people started complaining about it. And then it just went away. The audio in AEW, what a disaster. I'm telling you this. If TBS is doing the infrastructure in terms of the audio and visuals and everything, they probably need to let Tony Khan do it. You know, you probably need to pay him a little bit more and let him provide the audio and everything. Because if TBS is doing it and it's this bad, it's a problem. This is Bush League. Very Bush League. But TBS has been running live sports for 30 years with Braves games and NBA games. I never had these problems before. That's why I'm kind of really not on the bandwagon of let's just blame TBS for everything, because they've been doing a lot. They have so much experience with live sports. Why will all of a sudden games be you can't put them on DVR on time, and random music is playing and the audio goes out and all this kind of stuff? Like, why would all of a sudden that stuff start happening when a company is, it would be one thing if the company is not used to running live sports, but TBS has been doing live sports forever. Well, TBS and TNT have been doing live sports forever. So I'm not exactly sure if I want to buy the whole, oh, it was a mistake because of my DVR, that's why nobody watched the show, or the show was lower than usual. I mean, it probably affected about, 70,000 people maybe? I think most of your audience showed up, so most of your audience wasn't fooled, you know? I don't know. Let's get into this show because I want to get this over with. FTR was destroyed by Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Big Bill chokeslammed Dash through a table. He chokeslammed Dax 3 times, speared by Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks and Big Bill have won the tag team championships. Then all of a sudden, everybody starts these cryptic tweets about FTR leaving again after they filed for a trademark for CMFTR, and immediately they were jobbed out and took the tag team titles from them. Other people are saying that Dash is injured. that he might have broken some ribs in the Aussie Open match. Other people are concerned about Dash Harwood's legal case and whether he might actually go to prison or not. Like, why on earth did they lose to Big Bill and Ricky Starks? Well, that's a really good question, because if they were going to lose the titles, they could have picked somebody else to lose to. I'm not mad that Ricky Starks is a champion. I'm mad that Big Bill is a champion, so, if anything. But Ricky Starks deserves to be a champion. He's perfectly fine. The way in which they lost, I think, was surprising to everybody, because they got in there, they really didn't do much of anything. They just got destroyed, and they took the L, and they're kind of going to move on. Well, let's eliminate some of these things one at a time. Well, I don't think Dash Harwood's legal case is back up yet, so you can pretty much draw a line through that. It's going to be a little while for that. They signed long-term contracts back in April, I think it was. And since AEW signs people for these really long-term contracts, so like 2-3 years, there's just no way they're going to get out of it so soon. So you can draw a line through the fact that they're leaving. I don't care how many cryptic tweets they do. They're not going anywhere. So the last thing is that one of them are injured. And that seems to be the most logical explanation of why they dropped the belts, especially to such a random tag team. It's because one or maybe both members of FTR are injured. So if I'm hearing that it's Dash that's actually injured, so him getting chokeslammed through a table, that was ballsy of him if he's really injured, but whatever. Ricky Starks wins the title, perfectly fine. I like him. Big Bill's just happened to be there. He's a beneficiary of this thing. They say they're the top dogs now. They're the top guys. And I want to agree, but I don't agree that Big Bill is the top guy. Big Bill talking about, we're stars. I'm like, bro, you're edge on human growth hormone. No, you're not a star. Sad to break it to you. Moving on. Kyle Fletcher wrestled Bryan Danielson in a match that made my nose bleed. I don't know if I could ever hate a Bryan Danielson match so much. This match was so boring. I mean, this Kyle Fletcher kid, Lord have mercy. Did you see him? Did you see this dick haircut that he's running around with? And I guess he thinks he looked like Trunks from Dragon Ball. But no, Trunks from Dragon Ball actually has muscles. He looks more like, he looks more like Bulma. Like he's a skinny kid with no muscle definition whatsoever. No neck, no traps, no jaw, no nothing. Just a skinny kid. He's just out there. I think they said the kid's 24. Man, he needs to grow up quick. He needs to get a real haircut and stop looking like European inbred royalty. I mean, it's a disaster. Of course, Danielson beat this kid. Why wouldn't you beat this kid? He sucks. The Mogul Embassy came afterwards and attacked Danielson, which led to Toa Leona trying to eat Bryan Danielson. Well, he wants to be the GOAT. A lot of people eat goats, so that's what he asked for it. Claudio and Yuta came out there to help him, of course. Like I said earlier, random music started playing in this match, and that was the most interesting thing about it. This is Bryan Danielson's last year in the business, and they got him wrestling bums like Kyle Fletcher. Why is he wrestling bums? If this is going to be his last year, please save his matches. I guess they just wanted to have it as, he needed to do something to build to his match with Swerve. Let's do a promo then, instead of wasting bumps on this fucking Kyle Fletcher. He sucks. Bullet Club Gold, which is Juice Robinson and the Guns, defeated Angelico Metalik and one of my favorite hilarious luchadors, Gravity. Unfortunately, Gravity didn't get a chance to be silly this week. Instead, we got way too much Juice Robinson. And people are actually cheering Juice Robinson. They're actually egging Juice Robinson on to continue acting like an absolute anus out there on television. I can't believe it. He looks like one of those cavemen from the Geico commercial. So easy a caveman could do it. He looks just like that. Juice Robinson fucking sucks. I cannot believe people are fans of Juice Robinson. You know what? They don't have no taste. It's okay. Some people just don't got taste. We're just going to move on. Jay Whitehall cut a promo afterwards. We're saying that he's going to be a better world champion than MJF. He's going to lead by example. Says, one, I'm here. I expected you to be here. I expected you to care about this title and try to get it back. Says he going to beat Hangman Page. He's 3-0 against Hangman already. And since Hangman doesn't deserve it, he's not going to give Hangman a title match. I raised my eyebrow because I'm like, you're not the champion? But clearly, that's how this I stole your belt gimmick works, is that you claim things are non-title when you're not the champion. Later, he says he does this better than MJF, and everyone knows it. A lot of energy from Jay White when it comes to cutting promos, but the content is still very much lacking. It's very unfortunate. I guess with the clowning of Juice Robinson, I guess, people are actually getting into the clown act, much like Danhausen and Orange Cassidy, where people like to laugh with him or laugh at him, but nobody takes him seriously. He fucking sucks. Nick Wayne cut a promo trying to explain why he decided to join Christian, and it's not good. It's not a good one. He says he always saw Darby Allin like an older brother, and then Darby left him when he was like in 2015 or something like that. So he had to get into wrestling on his own, but always felt like he was in a shadow of Darby Allin, and he knew how to get Darby Allin back to join his worst enemy, and that Christian is the father figure that he always needed. No mention of how Christian just forgave AR Fox for beating him almost to death a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was the impetus for this heel turn, but apparently the impetus for this heel turn is the fact that Darby and I guess his dad got into an argument, and this is around the time where, Darby says that him and Nick Wayne's dad had a falling out and they didn't speak for a while. So is that what this is about? Or was his dad already dead and Darby Allin still left him? Either way, this is all off-camera stuff. And I thought it'd make more sense for it to be revolving around stuff that we actually saw, which is, the AR Fox shenanigans. And that apparently has nothing to do with this. It's all about Nick Wayne not wanting to be in Darby Allin's shadow. Look, they had a good thing going, and then they dropped the ball. They didn't stick the landing. All right, whatever. There's not much more you can do. All right, the Iron Savages were defeated by the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn was winded. I'm talking winded, but he's 60, and he's, big, huge, so I'm not surprised. The Iron Savages making it on Collision every week is a goddamn tragedy. There are people on this show who I have not seen in weeks. Guys like Malachi Black, but the Iron Savages are on here every goddamn week. Can we get Miro? Where's Andrade? Why are the Iron Savages on TV every week? Never mind. Timeless Toni Storm defeated Kiera Hogan. Timeless Toni Storm is an absolute gem. She's great. She's walking around handing out scripts. She even gave Kiera Hogan a script, which Kiera Hogan tore up right in front of her and made her very upset. So she very aggressively attacked Kiera Hogan. Now, in terms of Toni Storm's look, they actually improved it. They didn't do the smeared makeup this week. So she came out with her regular makeup, but she was still being very dramatic and very over the top. She still throws the commercial on her own, and everything is really good. She tried to do a hip attack, and then Kiera Hogan spanked her on the butt twice. So they're doing really homoerotic things with Toni Storm. They had her grab all over Sky Blue's booty on Wednesday. So they're making sure that every Toni Storm match is an absolute bakery, that you can't turn away from it. You can't look away. And then her thighs are thickening up too. Man, it's thick as gravy. I'm telling you. You look at them thighs, boy, Paul, she getting back. She getting that cherry lip Paul Goddess shape. Almost, Vince made her lose all that weight. She getting a little bit of it back. But of course she wins the match with her hip attack into her power driver. This thing has gotten over like gangbusters. I'm telling you, this was wrestling is all about. Great, fun characters. The character still needs a direction, but the character is fun. It's entertaining. People are behind it. People understand it. So there's no misses here with Timeless Toni Storm. Ruby Soho, who continues to be characterless, claims that Saraya doesn't need her because she's a dominant force. I'm like, why is Saraya not on TV? Saraya, I think that Saraya is the worst world champion on television. Of anybody who calls themselves a world champion, Saraya is the worst. Rhea Ripley doesn't defend her title, but at least she's on TV. Saraya, she's literally translucent. That belt is just not there. She has not been present She doesn't even cut promos on this show. She doesn't wrestle, she doesn't cut promos, she doesn't make appearances, she doesn't do backstage stuff, she doesn't do character stuff, she doesn't do any fucking thing. She has not moved this belt forward since she touched it. She is the worst world champion in the business. She's garbage. Oh, she's going to be there Tuesday. Well, okay. We'll see. It's not going to change much. She's going to wrestle a match and then disappear again. At least with Roman Reigns, he's not there, but at least he's furthering stories. You know, his name is used to further stories. Here, Saraya, her name isn't even used to further stories. I don't even know what's going on with her. Why is she the champion again? Oh, because Mercedes wants to wrestle her, so that's why she's the champion. Oh, okay. Eddie Kingston defeated Commander in a match I didn't need to watch. That featured Eddie Kingston doing rolls, which I laughed at because I'm like, oh, such agility from the fat man. What the fat bastard. The Homer Simpson of pro wrestling is now all of a sudden a world beater. This absolutely feels like when Homer Simpson was like a boxing champion and everybody just got tired of beating his ass and then he fell on top of him. That's how every Eddie Kingston match feels like now. Anyway, Commander, always losing. Why is Eddie Kingston not on Ring of Honor? Why is he always on AEW TV? And if that is going to be the issue, why is Athena never on AEW TV? She's always on Ring of Honor. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Let's go to the main event of the evening, which was Edge in the ring doing a promo. So they decided to do a collision in Salt Lake City, Utah, which has got to be stupid. Come on, why even go to Utah? What the hell those Mormons know about pro wrestling anyway? So he gets in the ring and he's talking. He gave JR a little bit of credit for signing him and paying off his college debt. He'll forever be in debt to JR. I thought that was very nice. Then he cut a promo saying that he came to AEW to team with Christian. And 9 years ago, he was told he couldn't do this. And through hard work and perseverance, he's here now. 7 years ago, Christian was told he could never do this again. And through hard work and perseverance, he came back. And while they were working so hard to make a return, this was the goal. The goal was for them to team again. The goal was for them to be partners. And he says over the time, Christian got a little bit colder, stopped answering phone calls, but that's him. He's a dick. He says that Christian is in his Bond villain phase, wearing turtlenecks and got his gigantic freak, his jaws, which was Luchasaurus, and that Nick Wayne is his hairless Persian cat, which I thought was actually pretty funny. Then he says he wants answers from Christian and actually asks Christian to show up on the screen. So Christian pops up on the screen, says that as a TNT champion, he will give answers when he feels like it. And it's like Edge, they always think he can call shots, but he's not getting any answers tonight. He'll get his answer on Tuesday. Then he says he has a question. Will you, being Edge, actually make it? Then, of course, he's attacked by Luchasaurus and the hairless Persian cat, of which he fought off both of them, picked up that young kid and dropped him on his head in that execution, or what they call him, the Adacution. What are they calling it now? Adam Cater. They changing the names of everything now. Anyway, he ended up taking a chokeslam from Luchasaurus, and then Darby Allin came out there and hit Luchasaurus with a chair. But he hesitated to hit Nick Wayne, which gave Luchasaurus the opportunity to come back, and then they both beat up Darby Allin too. So that's the show goes off the air. Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne are standing atop Darby Allin and Edge to go off the air. A really brutal show. Oh boy, it started out hot with Ricky Starks and Big Bill winning in a squash match, but then it cooled down very quickly. Kyle Fletcher brought this show down to the doldrums. I don't see how anybody could take this show seriously after that. Timeless Toni Storm couldn't even save this show with her magic. And it was very unfortunate. Edge comes out there. He cuts a promo. It's a solid promo. It's not the best. It's not the worst. But the point of it is it's furthering his story. He's got a story he wants to tell, and he's getting right to it. He's not wasting our time with garbage and bullshit and Princess Diana, hand waves. He's getting right to it, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Edge. And there's a lot of people, I should mention this, that are being blocked by Edge all of a sudden for being very negative about his jump to AEW. And they're whining about it. And the funniest thing about it is because it seemed all these people were pretty normal not too long ago. And then all of a sudden they get blocked and they're complaining and bitching. Edge sucks now. So it wasn't that because he jumped ship to AEW, it's because he blocked you, which is hilarious because he probably blocked you for being negative. So he went on a blocking spree, and a bunch of tards decided to have a meltdown. Look, I've heard stories that AEW gives people block lists that, they tell wrestlers to block certain people. I'm not blocked by Edge because I haven't said anything to Edge. I'm blocked by Britt Baker though, so maybe I'm on her block list, but I'm not on Edge's block list. Edge ain't blocked me because I haven't said anything negative about his jump ship to AEW. I said it was great for both sides, really. The only problem is that the long-term situation here. People who want to give Edge shit about going to AEW probably should be blocked. At the same time, though, I say that blocking people is a sign of you gotten to. Especially if you're using a block list, then you're certainly gotten to. So if Edge is using a block list, or if he's blocking people individually, for starters, if he's blocking people individually, he's really dedicating a lot of time to this. So if he got a block list, that's probably better because it's quicker and it's indiscriminate. But if he's like sitting down, with his morning coffee, you're blocked, you're blocked, you're blocked. I'm sorry, that's just too gotten to for me. That's not funny anymore. That means that the trolls have gotten you. They're eating you alive. You're getting chewed up by a piranha. But if you just hit a block list, like we're going to block all of these people, then it's kind of indiscriminate. And it's very unfair for the people who end up getting caught up in the block list. But at least you didn't spend all your whole morning blocking 100 individual accounts, which is more pathetic if you ask me. All right, like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.
MongoSlade.
Best house I ever drew, Daddy.